When I quit my job to launch my brand after ayahuasca retreat, I quit my job to launch my brand of perfume, but I didn't have money at this moment. To launch my brand, I was looking for 350,000 euros.
Okay.
During the processing days of creation of the products, I was afraid because I quit my job and I was working on my brand, but without money. And one night I received the information, money is coming.
Okay.
And I didn't find 350,000 euros. I found finally 1,200,000 euros. So when you ask to some things to universe or help, if your project create values, you can have everything you want from universe.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Blue Hour podcast, where we explore the minds and the worlds of visionary artists and creators. This week's episode is very exciting. I went to meet with Jonathan Dufour in his store in Paris last summer. His brand is called Spiritum. It's a brand that was inspired by an Ayahuasca ceremony where he went to cleanse himself from his emotional distress and got all those new fresh insights. So in this podcast, we discuss his journey from his past failures, healing, and coming back with this new vision of using sense and numerology to inspire people to live in a more aligned way. So you won't want to miss this. It's Christmas time, so we have these sweaters that are in 2 colors that are available on our website, roseumbra.com. So go check that out. And we have a new grant offering that's coming soon for visionary artists and creators. So we're giving away money, but also some mentorship and different products from all the jury that will be evaluating your guys' submissions. So this is coming in January. So go sign up to the email list if you want to be the first one to get more information on this when it's released. And let's jump right in. So thanks for receiving me in your beautiful store in Paris, in the heart of Paris. Jonathan, thank you, and welcome to Blue Hour Podcast.
Thank you.
So yeah, we're here in your flagship store in Paris. I met you a few weeks ago because I found the 2 of my favorite things, spirituality and perfumes, as a store. I was like, I need to know more. So as I walked in, I think one of your trademark is numerology, using numerology to show people's life path through smells, which is fascinating. So I thought that I need to have you on my podcast. So that's why we're here. I'm curious to know, this brand you started a few years ago, like how long ago have you started this project?
I launched Spiritum 2 years ago, the brand, and I opened the flagship 1 year ago.
Okay, and before it was more like online?
Yes, when I launched the brand, it was I was selling my products in some perfumery in France and in Europe, and now I have my own shop in Paris, in Saint-Germain-des-Prés.
That's cool. And I was at your event last week. It was amazing. You launched your perfume Jacob 36.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, when I saw it, I didn't connect that it was also the address. But Jacob, for me, like the word Jacob reminds me of Jacob's ladder. I don't know, was it influenced by this as well? Is there a connection between that?
No, just 36 Jacob, because the flagship is in 36 Jacob Street.
Yeah.
In Paris. So, and it's the smell I put outside the shop because I have a diffuser in the front of my shop. So this is the smell connected to the shop.
Interesting. Yeah. Did this interest for smells, is it something you've had all your life, or is something that came later in your life?
All my life, I love the perfume and smells. But before launching my brand, I was French director of an independent group of perfumes. So that's why after I quit my job and I launched my own perfume brand.
So you were more in the did you make your own smells, or you were more in the distribution, production? Like, what was your role before?
Just in retail and wholesale. I was taking care about the sales team and the retailers.
So you were already immersed in this realm. And did you decide to go in this realm specifically for perfume, or was it for like the business side, or was it both?
I wanted to explain my creativity as perfume, because I was working as a French director of this group of perfume before, and I wanted to push to put my own creativity and my own visions on the smells.
Yeah. Right. So you got to see many products, many visions of different directors, and you were like, okay, I think I have what it is, what it needs to have a successful vision. And also like the story you often say to clients is linked to this kind of connection to this shamanic journey you've been through ayahuasca a few years ago as well, I think.
Exactly. I did my first shamanic and spiritual retreat with ayahuasca in 2020.
Okay.
And after this retreat, I was inspired to create. Spiritum is just not a brand inspired by numerology. Numerology is one of the collection. And I launched this first collection inspired by numerology. But 1 year ago, for the opening of the shop, I launched the first perfume without numerology, Shamanism.
Okay.
The Shamanism is my bestseller today, and it's my olfactive memory of my first shamanic ceremony in Peru.
Wow. Yeah. The reason I'm so fascinated with smells, and not just perfume, not just like intricate like crafts, but I like smelling pine after the rain, like all these, or dirt, like fresh dirt that's just been wet and it's drying. Like, I think when you start paying attention, because often we walk in the forest and we are like filled with different sensations, we forget to connect with the nose directly. But imagine like meditating in any environment, and just you can connect with your landscape through smell. And even more, I feel like that's why essential oils are so powerful. They can cleanse, they can cure, they can evoke dimension. So yeah, I'm curious if you want to tell us more about that shamanic journey. Like, what did you see? Like, what happened?
During my first shamanic ceremony and my first shamanic retreat, I can't explain things I seen, new colors, new sensation, new emotions, but the digestion of this shamanic retreat take 6 months, I think. So I can't exactly say I seen that, or it's more subtle,
Yeah.
But I can explain you why I launched a collection inspired by numerology after this retreat. Because at this moment, I was French director of the group of perfume. A girl participated to the retreat, told me, Sophia, her name is Sophia, told me, what's your birthday? And I say my birthday is 19th of July, 1991. And she told me, oh, you have a lot of 1 in your birthday, and your life path number is 1. 1 is the number of audacy, ambition, leaders, creators, entrepreneur. And when Sophia told me that, it creates some things in my head. And after that, when I go back in France after my retreat, I quit my job and I take possession of my life path number, and I launch my brand. And I learned the signification about all the numbers, 1 to 9, 11, 22, and 33 or so. And I let my creativity create these olfactive talismans.
So you were working with the like, do you do your own blends, or you work at company perfume chemist, or?
Yes, I work with a big company, a big laboratory of scents of oils.
So you give them the direction, the vision.
Yes,
and then
exactly. I for example, for number 1, I learned the signification of number 1. Number 1 in numerology is a number connected to the sun. So I was thinking about a warm perfume for leaders, for ambition, for entrepreneur, and I think about some scents like oud, vanilla, myrrh, incense. and I create all of them like that.
Yeah, well, that's crazy. And also, you said it's connected with the sun, and then I saw your sun in your chart. The sun rules Leo. You have 2 planets in Leo, which are not your sun. They're Mercury and Venus and Mars in Leo. And then you have your sun in Cancer, but in your 10th house. There is a lot of energy with the sun, a lot of solar energy in your sun, and we see it. I like also the brand shines through like the invisible,
Yeah.
Like it's smell, you cannot see it. And I think you replicated this in this space. Like if you were here, I'll show a video at the beginning, but like everything is dark. There is some stars, like LED stars on the ceiling. And that is the mysteries of Cancer. So like I'm fascinated. I paint a lot about those mysteries of Cancer because I think it's the forgotten world that the Cancerian age where we would worship feminine deities, earth, nature. But the mysteries of creation as well, motherhood, all comes from darkness. And that's where you birth. Like the sun cannot exist without the darkness, the dark space to be in,
Yeah.
So I feel like you are like, you're the sun in your store that's kind of shining through the smells. And
exactly. That's why I by the way, I wear every time black because darkness catches the lights and made that.
Oh yeah. And I've heard also like the dark color also absorbs everything else. And Cancer are very sensitive. Do you feel like sometimes like black absorbs the energy of people that come in and all this stuff? Do you feel sometimes like it's it's overwhelming? I mean, I have a lot of Cancer too, so
okay.
I can relate. And so now you just launched this new perfume. I'm curious to know, like the vision is to bring, your discoveries of this shamanic journey to the public. How would you describe your vision in your own words?
With my brand?
Yeah.
I launched this collection inspired by Numerology first, but my goal is not when people come here, I give them their life path number and buy your life path number as perfume. No, my first mission is just to give to people their master number, their numbers of life, their life path numbers, and after they do what they want with that, they can learn more things about them. After, it's not a rule. For example, my life path number is 1, my favorite is 7. So it's just perfumes are just a tool to talk about numerology and spirituality in general,
And that's like if you were to have another business, and is this the approach you would want? Just create meaningful products that don't have just one. It's not just a smell to smell good. They also have a spiritual counterpart, to inspire people to.
Yeah, I want to. It's a tool to create some spiritual awakening for some people. Sometimes to give some people some force. Depends on the case, but yes, to create values.
And did you? I'm just curious because this brand is very powerful. But as an entrepreneur, do you have like different ideas of other brands that you would see doing that can connect also spirituality and like
If I know some other brands?
No. If you yourself,
I want to do more things.
Future,
yes,
you have ideas.
I have 35 projects in my computer. So
35.
They are connected to spirituality also.
I'm curious. Is there some that you want to share?
For the moment, it's secrets. But,
okay.
For example, I can talk. I can explain you my next project with Spiritum about spirituality. For example, next month I will launch the new perfume Tantrisme. Because Tantrisme, it's not. So for some people, Tantrisme is a question of sex or something else, something like that. But Tantrisme is not just that; it's just also opening the chakras and Kundalini, and it's a lot of things. But I want to learn to people some subject about new spirituality. Like I will launch Tantrism next month. At the end of the year, I will launch psychedelism, just to explain some subject of spirituality after people they can do what they want.
Yeah, it's just an excuse to share knowledge that is either taboo or misunderstood. And
exactly.
And in your personal life, like, do you, like on all these subjects, like all the perfume have a different name, also astral, like solar soul, astral twin. How do you research these themes? Is it something that you go without in books, or both, or?
For the name of the perfumes?
No, for like even the concept, because you say like you're going to release like the tantric one. Well, you need, and it's to bring awareness to what it is, to help vehicle some spiritual messages in some ways. But in your own personal life, how do you like learn about these different topics?
For example, when my friend Sophia during my shamanic ceremony told me my life path number is 1, I take some books, some Google. I was looking for some information about the subject, and it's the same for all of them. Sometimes I have some friends, some connections, some in my ring, they know the subject, and I learn about people with people, but depends.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel curious about one subject, and I make my search. Depends.
And just in all of the subjects that we see on the bottles, is there one that you're more passionate about, that's like something you're very like curious about and you always want to develop and learn more about?
Not really. Maybe I am connected with one product here, especially. It's a perfume I launched for the opening of the shop, Shamanism, because it's the smell I put on my first shamanic ceremony that changed my life.
Yeah.
So this is a special product will give me a lot of force. Yes, a lot of force and creativity. After, no.
Yeah, I was also referring to like a subject of spirituality that is your particular, like tantra, for example, or like that you're particularly like passionate about. If there's one or that more, or it's just like different topics you study in different phases of your life.
Exactly. Not a special one. Yeah. No.
Okay, cool. And I like to understand also, like you have obviously a very entrepreneurial side that, I mean, you create these beautiful brand. Yeah, how long have you been doing business, or like did you learn it in university, or is it something that came innate to you?
Obvious. It was obvious. All my life I was an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I launched my first business at 20 years old, and between my 20 and my 27 years old, I opened 10 business. And after, for some reason, I lost everything. And after my shamanic retreat gave me back my powers and heal my pain in my
the pain that came from this failure that you call perceived failure, right? Because like in the end, failure is just Saturnian lessons. Saturnian, again, we saw like Saturn is also the cycle you're in. So I think that's valuable too to talk about, because Saturn teaches, but through pain, it's not always the give you candy, here's the reward, you did a good action. It's more like, no, learn to go on the right track, and then I won't punish you, And I feel like that's a good example, like you're being forced to lose everything. So like, how was that for you at the moment? Were you in panic mode? I'm guessing so.
Could you repeat the
like when you lose everything, you must feel like a bit panic.
I was yes. Well, when I lose everything, I was like without force. Like I wanted to stay alone during 6 months in a bed because. Yes, I put all my money and my life on my projects, and a special story. Someone steal me 100,000 euros, and I lost everything. But it's life, and it's a lesson also. And yes, after I find a job, and during 3 years I was French director of this brand of perfume. And during those 3 years, a friend told me, you have to do ayahuasca, and
for the healing journey, because
yes,
he knew that you were still like holding on to that event.
Yes. But when my friend told me about that, I was no, it's not my mood, my type. And during some days, the spirit of ayahuasca came in my dream and called me. So after, it was an obligation to go see her in Peru.
I can see that in your chart. Moon in the first house, it means the moon is like what reflects everything. It's like a mirror. And when you dream, it's actually a mirror of your consciousness. Like everything you don't deal with in your life mirrors back in your subconscious at night, and you kind of relive it to reduce tensions. So having this naturally in your personality and your persona must make you very, reflective. Like your dreams must be very significant and transformative. I'm curious, is there other times in your life where like you dream something, it happened, or it's revealing something that you need to address? Does that happen often in your?
I have a lot of cases in my dreams. For example, sometimes I dream about that, and it happens days after. Sometimes I can play in my dreams. I can do what I want, like astral projection, but I don't know if it's really that, but depends. Sometimes my dreams give me some warning for some things.
Okay.
Yes, I use a lot of my dreams for my life in my life. Yes.
To inform your life.
Yes.
Yeah, that's so cool, and it makes so much sense. Moon in the first house, Cancer, Sun, like your personality, your lunar personality, and your soul are very connected, and so it makes sense even like that your dreams would be the guiding force of your.
And sometimes before going to sleep, I ask some things to universe, and I find them in my dreams.
Oh yeah, like I've been curious about that lately, because now we have AI. I have a friend, artist, and he was telling me, I'm trying a new method, like to create something. So I'm reading like a book of Indian philosophy, then a book about quantum physics, and then a book about this like random subjects about the history of World War II. And his idea is to like plant seeds of 3 different kinds of seeds in his mind, and then like with his dreams, like kind of see how they blend together. And then there was the big debate with him, like, is this necessary to do that, to arrive to this conclusion? Or like AI,
Yeah.
AI is a kind of tool like that too. It's this, of course, it doesn't have all information, but in his case, he doesn't have all information. He has 3 books. Like AI, you can, I'm curious to know what you think about it, but it feels like it's the beginning of understanding what the collective unconsciousness is. You're familiar with this term, the collective unconsciousness?
Yeah.
So because it's like, it's connected with all the knowledge of everything, like, everything that's inputted in it, and more, everything is accessible. PDFs, books, is all virtual now. You can find everything. So imagine if all the information of the world was connected, it would almost be like the collective unconsciousness. And then like Google already does, you want to know what people are fearing in 2024. You looked at the keywords, what is most searched. But imagine when everything is connected, you can really know what's inside the subconscious mind of people collectively. What are their hopes? What are their dreams? What are their fears? Like for me, then the next question was like, okay, so what differentiates our self from AI if it can know information? You just type something and you can know a lot more about the collective unconsciousness. And so I was wondering, like, what about this collective consciousness? I see it like as a cloud that surrounds Earth, but there's something above it, and that's what I'm like the spiritual world, the spirits, your higher self. I'm curious, is that something, well, what do you think about that? If you ever like thought about something like that?
I never thought about that before, but I think it's a lot of information, all the subjects. And before, maybe you and me, or you or me, we can mix them and find some issue. But for every people, I think they have to learn subject by subject
separately,
because it's a lot of information and you have to digest all of the information. So,
but it feels like, I mean, you know, you have the conscious mind, the subconscious mind. The conscious mind is, of course, much slower. You read a book, and then, but are you familiar with Carl Jung's work a little bit? Not really.
Not really.
He likes study the mind, basically how the mind works, and there are different levels of mind. So you have like subconscious mind, but you have something even deeper. It's like the collective subconscious mind in a way, and it connects all your ancestors, the dreams of your ancestors, and you can access this through your dreams as well. You know, this timeless space, like. You can know what your neighbor is doing, and well, kind of like astral projection in a way. So, do you have an example of like a time in your life where you had a dream and it happened, or like something that was meaningful?
The first thing can come in my head now. It's my first connection, empathic connection. I was 14 years old, and I was in a McDonald's, and I was climb the stairs to go in the second floor. And at one time I stopped and I was like crying because I catch the emotion of someone near 2 meters from me, and it's the first time in the first moment in my life I understood the capacity I have to, like a sponge, to catch the emotion of people.
Wow. But that was in a dream? Or that was in real life?
Yes, in real life.
That was kind of a psychic activation.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so this kind of hypersensitivity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it sometimes difficult, like to feel like...
In the start, yes. At 14, 15, till 20, 25, it was complicated. After we managed to handle this power, but during some years it was very complicated, like my addiction, because I didn't want it to catch the emotion of people. So it was like complicated, but now it's better.
Yeah, I can imagine how, like, for me, it's the opposite. I started like very unemotional in my life. I was very emotional, but I didn't feel it. You know, I was repressing it. So like I developed it slowly, this kind of sensitivity to, to feel someone's emotion, like to a point, like sometimes, like now I'm doing like house sitting. And sometimes there's kind of delays between the person leaving the house and still being here. So you're just with random people in their homes. So the emotions bounce around their house like for years and years. And now you're in it with the person that's creating those emotions. And it's like super like feel everything. You're very careful with everything. So uncomfortable. And that's when I was like, okay, now I can feel things. And it's not fun sometimes, like to feel everything, but again, it's also a superpower that like cancer usually are the most compassionate and nurturing, and you know, you like to take care of people, make them feel comfortable. It's a very connected with the mother as well. Like the mother is the archetype of the cancer. Do you have how is your connection with the mother? Is it something that, because your sun and your moon in the first house are both connected with the mother, is the mother playing a big role in your life?
In my life, yes. I'm very fusional with my mom.
You can see that often. The moon is the mom and Cancer is the mom as well, and you have both like very present. So for emotional support, teaching you also empathy and stuff. So just so if we want to wrap up a little bit, I'm curious to know, from you have a lot of experience, like you're the same age as me, we're young, but you've done a lot of stuff and a big career already, like going through the downs and the ups kind of gives you so much life momentum, life experience. Do you have, and being sensitive to, the art of emotions is not an art that's given, which is a big problem in the world right now. People don't have emotional tools to handle their own emotions, even less other people's emotions. Do you have a tool that for you helped you to develop this capacity to deal with emotions?
No, not at all. But I think we are all of us. We are different, and me, it's ayahuasca gave me help because after ayahuasca, after my ayahuasca retreat, I was thinking about me before. And I was sometimes I was like that. I did these kind of things, and no, because I'm very bad. I'm a very bad teacher to help people to.
So now you're a bit better with that.
Yes, now I'm better, but I'm not the best at all for the moment.
Okay.
But the difficulty is not to say to people some tools. It's, if the problem is they can help.
Listen, like understand,
yes, because when we have a lot of emotion, we have a lot of problem to understand people and lessons and advice,
Yeah, I get what you mean. Like when you're emotional, you're like in your world and you cannot really receive any data. You're closed a little bit. Yeah, that's good. But I think perhaps the best tool for that is listening,
Yes.
Like maybe if you want to help someone, it's not to give them information, it's to be the divine Cancerian energies, like listening, is be passive. I think that's what is missing, Cancerian energy is really about that. It's like, I give you the space. Be whoever you are. You don't have to
exactly.
close.
Yes.
Just, I'm here, and then you just give this loving space for them to be whatever they want. I guess that's kind of but you're saying like, you cannot give them information if they're closed. And
yes, or you have to take asset.
Be very careful. And that makes sense. That's cool. And what about for like business people that want to like take courage and like, I mean, you've been through a big down and you still had the courage to go back and start over. What is it? Do you have something that you would give advice for people?
Yes, of course. For that I can. Yes, I will talk again of ayahuasca retreat. My ayahuasca retreat heal my soul. When you do ayahuasca, it's a ceremony during 6 hours, and during 6 hours you vomit a lot.
Yeah.
And when you vomit, you purge.
Yeah.
Yes, your fear.
Yeah.
Your problem of trust on you, regards of the others, and a lot of things. And when after that, you feel more light, more léger.
Yeah.
Yes, today people don't launch this business, don't follow their dream because they are afraid, you know. And the first advice I can give is to trust on yourself, to love yourself, and to trust on your ideas, and go run to do your dreams. Because today all people say, "Oh, this is dangerous," but a lot of fears on all the dreams of everyone. So, but you have to listen your heart and you trust on you if you want to launch your projects.
Yeah. Anything, like, because I have still your astrological chart in mind, it feels like for you, like this fear, which is Saturn, that you're still in, was a big catalyst too. Like if you didn't have those fear, like you didn't go as far down this way, you would not be able to go as far down this way. So like fears, even though it feels like we tend to avoid them, they are extremes of like, the more you kind of go in the dark, the more after that you can go on the other side once you heal. Like, of course, you have to at some point jump over, because otherwise you just live in your little cocoon. But it feels like with you, it was a big catalyst too, the contrast between your lowest part and now must be so vast.
Yeah, totally.
So for people also to not be afraid to go in the darkness.
Yeah, because it's life and it's lesson also. All the things you do or you fail, it's experience. So you have at the end, you have nothing to lose. Mm-hmm. Just this experience, and you have to put ego away.
Yeah. And I think ayahuasca is known to destroy the ego.
Yeah.
It gives you like straight to the lessons you're avoiding. You're facing it a little bit like mushroom. Or would you compare it to mushroom a little bit?
I did, but it's very different.
Oh yeah.
Yes, very different. Yeah.
I'm still amazed that you actually dreamt of the ayahuasca before doing it.
Yeah.
That means it was like a very significant karmic moment in your life that had to be a dream. Did you have just to end, do you have another dream that seems to be guiding you in this period of your life?
When I launched my brand, when I quit my job to launch my brand after ayahuasca retreat, I quit my job to launch my brand of perfume, but I didn't have money at this moment.
Okay.
And to launch my brand, I was looking for 350,000 euros.
Okay.
During the processing days of creation of the products, I was afraid because I quit my job and I was working on my brand but without money. And one night I received the information, money is coming.
Okay.
And I didn't find 350,000 euros. I found finally 1,200,000 euros. So when you ask to some things to universe or help, you have. If your project create values, you can have everything you want from universe.
So you feel like if whatever you want to create is aligned,
yes,
everything will flow. And
exactly.
Yeah, that's so good advice. Yeah, because often we do something, nothing comes easily when I do that. Well, perhaps it's not aligned with what you're supposed to do.
Imagine I want to win Euro Million, it will not work.
Yeah.
If I want to launch a new project with values and authenticity with my heart, I can launch everything. Yeah,
that's beautiful. Yeah. I'm very excited to follow the rest of your journey, and pick your mind also, to what's to come. I just feel like it's inspiring to see a vision come to manifestation, but through the moon, through the intuition, to the feminine also, I think that's beautiful. So thank you so much for your time, first of all. I know you've had a big week, and it's I can imagine you're doing a lot of hours, but I'm amazed by your brand and just the guts you had to just do it, and hopefully it will also inspire lots of people to do it themselves, That's why I do this podcast too, to show that it's possible and you should do it actually. So thank you so much. And I'm excited for the rest.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys found this interesting. If you did, please don't hesitate to like and subscribe. It means a lot. It helps support the channel. And go on his website. Go check out his perfumes as well. If you're in Paris, stop by. It's a very nice neighborhood, and you'll see the store is amazing as well. And you'll get to know your life path number. And sign up to our newsletter if you want to be updated on this grant offering that's coming soon. So I'll see you guys in 2 weeks.